Hey y'all.
Hey y'all.
What's up? This is El Presidente.
This is
You're
your boy, Gospel Icon, my Harold Peoples Jr.
This lady, also known as Leah, and you're now watching.
And you're listening to Speaking Plain
in
English.
the Speaking Plain English with your host Roberta.
Your beautiful host, Roberta Johnson.
With my homegirl, Roberta, on Praise.fm.
On Praise FM.
On Praise FM.
Hey, happy Saturday and welcome to another episode of Speaking Plain English. I am your host, Roberta, and today we have, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. I mean, I say that all the time, but this is going to be good. Trust. You believe. So before we bring our guests out, I just want to say welcome to all of our viewers. Welcome to Praise FM. Welcome to YouTube. Welcome to Instagram. Welcome to Facebook. Welcome to everybody who is deciding to, to take a moment out and to join us for this episode. Before we get anywhere near started, I want to ask you guys to do, the social media stuff, the liking and the sharing and the subscribing. And, if you want to tag a couple of people, feel free, have at it. Please, you go ahead and do so. Because we are going to have, this conversation, I'm excited. I'm really excited. If you are somebody who has had a dream or a vision or a goal or to do a business or to, for whatever, you're going to want to see this. You're going to want to watch. You're going to want to tune in, tag somebody that you may know that may have a goal in mind or a dream in mind that may be a little bit apprehensive about, starting as well. Because I'm sure something is going to be said today that is going to brighten their day, that's going to spark some interest in them, okay? All right. So before I bring my guest on, we're going to go ahead and do the announcements. First, I do want to remind everyone that if you are a Black author, Black business owner, or a Black artist, and you would like to either have a segment on the show, you would like to be a guest on the show, or if you have an event or, anything that you want to, or something new, coming out, a new book or some new music, anything that you have, that you want to promote on the show and have like a commercial or an ad, feel free to contact me so that I can get that taken care of for you. If you want to shout somebody out for a birthday, as I like to call Earth Entry Anniversary, or an anniversary or whatever you want to shout them out just to say hello, just to say that you care, that you love them, and you want to do it in a special way, reach out to me as well so that we can get that, taken care of and I can fix it up real nice for you. Speaking of Earth Entry anniversaries, I have one for this week, which was on February. Can y'all believe February is over already, y'all? Man. So we're already into March, but we're in the beginning of March. So February 26th is the 26th birthday of my niece, Brianna Snipes. Yay! She is the CEO, actually, of Amani Lux Wax Lounge, and she's my waxer, okay? And I'm just going to plug her really quickly because when I tell you she takes care of me, honey, she has body butters, she has oils, and she makes them all by hand as well. Body scrub, sugar scrubs, and they leave your skin feeling silky smooth, just like the Soul Glow commercial with, just it's really the skin that's glowing. You know what I mean? But and on top of that, like she waxes men and ladies as well. So, and then she'll not only will she do the waxing and say goodbye and take your money, but she'll teach you, how to maintain and everything. Like, and I'm not just saying this because she's my niece. I'm saying this because I know what I know. Okay. All right. So, without further ado, before we bring our guest on, I'm going to go ahead and read her bio really quickly so that you can kind of get a little bit about her before we come on. So Jessica McDonald, which actually the company is called Jess Pudd'in LLC. Jess Pudd'in LLC is a Brooklyn-based family-owned business founded in 2017 by Jessica McDonald after owning and operating Jess Cakes LLC, where she designed and created custom cakes. After 4 years, she decided to focus on what she considered her specialty. She wanted to build a pudding nation. I love that. That is so cute. A community which is drawn together by their love for Just Pudding, for the Just Pudding experience. And that banana pudding is something else. The banana pudding is something else. And once you'll understand. Once you get to taste it, you'll understand. Trust me. This one of a kind dessert shop started out structured as a business to business, catering specifically wholesale to other businesses, but eventually expanded into the retail arena. Just Puddin opened its first retail shop in Kings Plaza, Brooklyn in June 19, 2021, and the second one shortly after at the Palisades Mall on November 20th, 2021. Just Puddin specializes in desserts like no other. Absolutely. When someone thinks of or hears the name Just Puddin, their slogan should come to mind. It's just so good, and it is. It is. Their products are made fresh weekly with a short lifespan because they add no additional preservatives to their desserts, and freshness is a key factor. And it means that each individual grab and go dessert is made with love just for you. It makes your product the healthier choice in comparison to other desserts on the grocery shelf. This is true. For example, other desserts on the market like yogurt, custards, and ice cream can be refrigerated for weeks, if not months on end. Just Put in small batch production guarantees freshness every time. Every time. So without further ado, we're going to bring to the stage the one and only Jessica McDonald. Hello,
Hi.
hello. How are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you for
Well,
having me. How are you?
I am doing great. I am so excited.
Good.
So listen, when I say
I am
excited,
too.
is an understatement right now because
Yes.
whew, y'all.
Thank you for having my cheeks actually hurt as you were reading the bio. I just was smiling so hard, so now my cheeks are hurting.
I mean, okay, so let me give y'all a little bit more about what something that of a personal experience of when I actually met her for the first time. So I went to matter of fact, it was, oh my lord, I can't. Her name escapes me. Joanne. It was Joanne.
Joanne.
Yes,
Joanne.
Joanne. She told me where
Hmm.
you were when you were in the Palisades Mall. Unfortunately,
Hmm.
you're not there anymore. But she told me where you were in the Palisades Mall,
Hmm.
and because I needed some cupcakes for my son's birthday,
Hmm. Hmm.
and she recommended you and she raved about you, and so I'm like, you know what? Let me go and check them out. So I went and I ordered. I think I called first, and so I ordered,
Hmm.
some cupcakes enough for the class, and went and picked them up. And when
Hmm.
I tell you, these kids absolutely tore these things up. These red velvet cupcakes, and they were so cute. They're all in the little individual cups. It was the cute. Now I was fasting, so
Yeah, you were really strong. You didn't have any.
ooh, girl, red velvet is my favorite. So I'm like, all right. I'm not gonna cheat, but I'm gonna come back. And then when I came back, I didn't get the red velvet cupcakes, but I did get some of the banana pudding. And oh my,
Ooh.
oh my, I don't even think I made it out of the parking lot. I
Many
don't
people
think
don't tend to.
I don't think I made it out of the
Many
parking lot.
people don't tend to. It never makes it home.
I'm like, let
It's
me tell
just
you
so
something.
good.
Oh, it just so good.
Just so
Just so
good.
good. That's the motto. So Let's get started. So
Yes.
first of all, just tell us a little bit more. We did read your bio and we read a lot about you. So tell us a little bit more about you that's not included in your bio.
Um, I am a daughter. I am a wife. I am a mother of two boys. I am a sister and a friend to many, but a selected few.
Mm.
And pretty much that's about it for me. I mean, I'm very ambitious. I'm outgoing. Um, I stop at nothing. If I say I'm going to do something, I don't care if it takes me 10 years to do it. It's going to get done. Um, and that's just me. I'm a woman of my word. My word is my bond. And I think that pretty much sums me up. I'm very adventurous. I'm not scared of challenges.
Mm.
I'm God fearing. And I think that's about it, other than being a boss, of course.
Oh yes, of course. We cannot forget that. We cannot leave that out. So let me
Yes.
ask you, what was it that actually struck your interest in crafting desserts?
Back when I was in college, I was living in Florida at the time, and I met my boyfriend, who's now my husband of like 20 years, I believe it is. And I would only see him once a week, once every Friday, due to his work schedule. And so, I had to make an impression. I'm only seeing this guy one day out of the week. I gotta lock it in. I gotta lock it in. And so, they say that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And I would make him these moist pound cakes every Friday, never fail. It's been 20 years later, so I don't make a cake every Friday no more. But for the most part, um, I made him a cake every single Friday. And
Mm.
then things got interested when he would say to me, like I would drop him off. And on my way back, my commute back was about an hour. And by the time I get back home, he'd be like, we ate all the cake. And I'm like, who's we? So he would share with his coworkers and stuff like that. And how we met was really cute. That's a whole nother story for another time. He used to work on a cruise ship. So I would only see him on Fridays when the ship docked. And so he'll be like, the cake is finished. And I'm like, what do you mean it's finished? He's like, yeah, like we devoured the cake. So we're talking about like 6 grown men fighting for like 1 pound cake. So it would go just like that. And it just brought me so much joy to know that, wow, like, not only was he enjoying the cake, because you think, okay, it's only nice that you say you like something because you don't want to, but no,
Hurt.
like when I really see, like now instead of making 1 cake, I'm making 2 cakes now for him and his friends to enjoy. I'm like, this is really cool. So it just always, that was something that just made me feel really bubbly and really happy. Um, so we dated. I kept on baking. And I just saw that this just really made people happy. And
Mm.
so somewhere that's where I'm like, I really like this. But it was just a hobby. It was just something that I was just doing. But it was something that just never left me.
Mm.
It's something that never left me. I was like, wow, this is cool. And
Amazing.
yeah, that's how it started.
So I'm gonna tell you this. I noticed that a lot of times that something that things that people are meant to do are things that they kind of love, and it brings them joy. Like you said, it brought you so much joy to see how much people well your then boyfriend, who is your hubby now,
Hmm.
but not, and like you said, that it wasn't just that he was just eating it and saying that he liked it just to appease you, but he was
Hmm.
sharing it with his boys, with his friend, with his coworkers. And I love that. I really love that, because that shows, like, what, first of all, it sounds like support to me. If you ask me, that sounds
Hmm.
like support, which is that's number one in my book. So I see how you got started. So at what point then did you realize that, what, I think it's time to make this a business?
Um, I always knew I wanted to be a boss. So again, back when we were in Florida, when we met, I was in nursing school, and at that time, I was just just baking for family and friends, holidays, stuff like that. And I always knew, even while in nursing school, I always had the desire to be my own boss. Like, so I'm in nursing school. I'm thinking, oh, when I get out of nursing school, I'm gonna do the requirements to become a nurse practitioner, and I'm gonna own my own nursing home. Like, this is how I'm thinking. This is how I am, like, thinking at 19 years old, 19, 20 years old. I'm thinking, I'm in nursing school. I want to have my own facility, whether it's going to be a nursing home, whether it's going to be a clinic, whatever. So I always knew, I always had a boss mentality. However, nursing wasn't it. But life experiences and going through the channels of life in itself, you kind of get to figure out who you are and what you want to, what you want to be. If I can go back and tell my younger self, if I could like do it over again, and I knew exactly, if I was Jessica, well, I am Jessica, but let's just say if I was able to rewind and do it all over again, even though I didn't know that playing with sprinkles and sugar was it for me, I knew that I wanted to be a boss. So I should have went to school for business management or something along accounting, or something that can pour into, you understand, the business aspect of things, as opposed to me. I never want to say that it was a waste of time, because everything happens for a reason. So I have to say, when we moved from Florida back to New York, I was expecting my first baby. And wow, I was expecting my first baby. And the idea was I was supposed to finish up nursing school. So my husband sacrificed. He's like, okay, babe, you're going to have the baby. You're going to finish nursing school. And then, something, how should I say? I was going to LIU, Long Island University. And the idea was to finish up nursing school. But while I am in nursing school, guess what happens? Even though I left Florida and now we're husband and wife, expecting a baby on the way, the desire to make cakes never left me. It never, ever, 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 ever left me. And so now I'm in school and I'm like, oh my God, Lord Jesus, I like to play with sprinkles and sugar. How am I going to tell my family, my husband that invested in this career, that I swore that this was it? How am I going to tell these folks that I want to play with sprinkles and sugar? Like, they're going to say, girl, are you crazy? I thought my husband was going to leave me, honey. Okay? Because let's not talk about how I could never keep a job in my 20s. No, ma'am. Because I was fortunate to have a great man on my side to support me in any decision that I made. But I guess he loved my crazy. So 20 years later, here we are. I'm still crazy, but he's a solid one. He's like, gonna measure 10 times, you're gonna cut once. Like, listen, you sure this time? Okay. So, you have to have, I think it really works. So opposites really do attract. That I really do believe. So not to get too much off topic. So my 20s, I'd be like, listen, I don't need this job. Like, whatever. My husband got
everybody hates Chris.
Right. My husband got a good job. I don't need this. Right. That was my attitude in my early 20s. Not that it was necessarily the right attitude, but again, life is a learning experience in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s and your 50s. And if you're not learning and you're doing the same thing over and over again, age doesn't always mean wisdom. Experiences mean wisdom, because people, okay, experiences to me is what are the building blocks for wisdom, not age. People get that twisted all the time, because you could be 50 with a 15-year-old mindset. So, anywho, In my 20s, I would quit jobs. Just was like, okay, because you know what it was about me? I always had a leading spirit. So sometimes being told what to do didn't fit well with me. I didn't really like it. But then now we're back in New York, had my son. Now I have to keep a steady job because now life is serious now, right? I just can't pick up and just do what I want, when I want, how I want. So it's now I have to help support a whole person. So let me see. While at LIU, I will never forget, my son was 2 years old, and I was struggling to find my truth because I knew deep down inside I didn't want to do this nursing. But my mom's side of the family's from Barbados. Fun fact about me, my mom's side of the family's from Barbados. I grew up on the island of Barbados. And my dad's side of the family is from Haiti. And so with a Haitian family, with a Haitian dad, to be exact, for me to even tell my dad, like, I don't want to be a nurse. I want to, yeah, Jessica. This is not a real job. A real job is, So
Yeah.
in the Haitian culture, if you're not a lawyer, a doctor, a nurse, it's like, oh my God, like you don't even exist. So those are all of my fears. I fear what my mom was going to say. I feared what my dad was going to say. I feared that my husband could possibly leave me, or be really upset because he's the one paying for my tuition. How dare I say,
I
right?
don't want to do this.
So, all the while had the baby back in school, trying to finish up with the nursing to pursue to get that finished up, and I'm struggling in the background, like I'm crying, I'm praying, my God, I don't want to do this, but I really, it felt like I was in a closet. I had this really dark secret, and I didn't know how to come out. And I would cry to my sister all the time about it. She's like, girl, listen, at the end of the day, daddy ain't gonna be going to work with you in no ER, wherever you decide to be at. He not gonna be there with you. You have to choose for yourself.
Exactly.
And so
What you want.
I'm praying. And let me tell you something. It took one good situation, which I'm not gonna get too deep in, but at some point I will share it because I do believe someone out there needs to hear that. A particular situation happened to me while I was working at a part-time job. And I took that situation. I was really hurt behind the situation that happened because I had good intentions. However, because I was frustrated and I knew I didn't want to do nursing anymore, I used that situation and I made a whole bonfire. I made it so big, and I was like, you know what, mom, husband, I don't want to do nursing no more. Now tell me, because I don't want to give too much yet. I don't want to say too much, but what does this situation over here got to do with this situation over here? But that was my outlet. If I would say I was extra, and I was extra, listen, that was my card. That was my card. I took it, I ran with it. And when I came out, I had such a big meltdown. I made this thing so big, but it was a big deal for me because, again, my intentions were good. And unfortunately, I was persecuted because I wished well for someone. I'll just leave it right there.
Okay.
And I don't want to give too much because that's a whole other something, right? And so anyway, I came home. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to nursing school no more. And I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to start my own business. And because you see, anyway, I'm not doing my homework and stuff. I come home, I'm taking custom cake. Oh, by the way, I was doing no homework in nursing school, honey. I was just fooling myself and wasting my mama money, wasting my husband money, because they be like, you in nursing school, but you don't be Every evening you come home, you can talk about you got a cake order, you got a pocketbook cake, you got a sneaker cake. Like, so
You were
that, like I
actually
said,
then still making cakes while you were in nursing school.
yeah, yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, yeah. And I really, really, really loved it. And my aunt was the one who taught me the fundamentals of baking and how everything actually like came together and stuff. Is when I moved back home, I was like about 4 months pregnant. 4 months, I want to say 4 or 5 months. My family was planning a baby shower for me, and I requested a cake from Cake Boss. So first of all, how somebody planning the shower for me, and I'm telling them where I want my cake from? Both, but anywho, that's me. So I was like, I want a cake from Cake Boss, and my aunt was like, no, we gonna be the Cake Boss. And I'm like, huh? So mind you, my aunt was the one who taught me the fundamentals of baking. Hence, that's how I learned how to make pound cakes. That's how I learned how to make banana pudding. That's how I learned to make all the wonderful things that I know how to make was from Auntie.
Shout out to the
So
auntie boy.
Auntie played a major role. So she's like, no, girlfriend, we gonna be our own Cake Boss. So I'm like, we are. So here I am with my big stomach, and we in there throwing out. So I knew what I wanted. I wanted a bathtub with bubbles, a rubber ducky, and Johnson baby products. That was the cake that I wanted, and we did it. It came out beautiful. So like the bubbles were like the mini marshmallows in white and blue. And the bubbles, the marshmallows were coming over the tub. And then we had like the brush for the rubber ducky, all the Johnson products. And can I tell you, for my baby shower cake, I got 3 or 4 different orders for that one cake.
Wow.
Replicas. People wanted it in pink or people wanted it in blue. And then I was like, wow, we wide open. So that was before college. So you remember, I came back, I was pregnant, I did my baby shower, had the baby, and then I went back to school. So that was an aha moment for me, like, oh my God. So do you mean to tell me? And not only that, too, because if I can be honest, when I first started, my aunt did the baking. So what I realized about me is that I didn't really necessarily like the baking, but I was very turned on by the decorating aspect of things. You
Okay.
follow?
Plain
So my aunt
sprinkles.
will bake and she'll make the icing and I'll get in there and I'll do my thing. After that, it was like, no, I got it. Get back. Don't touch it. I got it. And that's how that part was. And then things just became interesting. So after I said I didn't want to do nursing school and I went ham. I went ham on my mother and my husband like they did me something. I took it and ran with it. That was my way out. I saw that as my ticket and I ran with it. I was extra. I was very extra. That was so necessary because there was
Ooh,
no other way out. No other way
exactly.
out. That's right.
And you have been holding it in. The thing is, that's what happens when you hold things in. Like you have been holding that thing in for a minute and just did it, and being considerate,
Mhm.
like my mom and my husband is paying for my nursing school and I know it's not cheap and I'm thinking about baking cakes, like you said, plain and sprinkles and glitter.
Sprinkles and sugar.
And what are they, especially like you said, even with your culture, you know what I mean? So to be able to go out on a limb like that and and understand, like, I don't want to disappoint my family, I don't want to disappoint anybody who is investing in what I thought was my future or what I said was going to be my future. I'm gonna tell you this, that thing that is instilled inside of you, it does not ever go away. It does not
It does
ever
not.
go away until you do
Nope.
what you're supposed to do with it.
Exactly.
Trust.
Exactly. So then they're like, did she just say she not? They looking at each other hella confused. And they just went with it. They're like, okay. And I was like a load, a burden was immediately lifted off
Mhm.
my shoulders. But let me tell you what pray would do. I asked God for a way out. I did not understand that that was going to be the way out, but that's how He
Yes, it's
made
gonna
the
be
way
like
out.
that. But it was a way out.
That was the way out.
It was a
So
way out.
now, they supported me. I stuck with it. At some point, a hobby. That's up to you. Are you gonna make it a hobby, or are you gonna make it a business? And then at that point, that's how it started, and I stuck with it. So my son was 2 at the time. Pardon?
I was just about to ask you how many years ago that was.
Right. So if my son is 2, and I was so into cakes from before he was even before he was even a thought. Because remember, I was baking in Florida, but when I really, really was like, the aha moment was when I got like 4 orders for that cake. So he's 13. So I was 13 years old. 13 years. Yes. So that's how that unfolded, and hence this is where we are today.
Ooh, I love it. Listen, I love a good origin story. I love a good origin story. So we're gonna take not even. We're just gonna take a few seconds, and we're gonna take a break, and then we'll be right back.
All right.
This is the golden mic, everybody.
Let's go. Sorry.
I love Jesus. I worship and adore you.
Ready and I'm ready. Yeah.
Come over here.
I'm here. You.
Everybody went on mic.
All right.
All right. And we are back. For those who may just be tuning in, we are talking about lessons on entrepreneurship with CEO of Jess Pudd'in, Jessica McDonald. And we are we just got finished with a good origin story and how she started with her, first of all, cakes. We starting with the cakes. So now she's doing puddings. Woo, all right. So let me ask you something. So you went from, what was it? How you went from doing your cakes to doing pudding. So talk to us about how that transition and what makes Jess Pudd'in like a such a unique dessert kind of type of company.
What makes it unique? Was a question.
Like what makes, well, one, like how did you transition from doing cakes to pudding, and then what makes it unique?
Well, there are many reasons for that. Many reasons. Too many reasons for me to get into, but I'll try to share with you the one that stuck out the most. Jess Pudd'in, first of all, is unique because I don't even know how to answer this question. It's so good. Okay. What makes us unique? We're unique because
the fact that y'all have healthier, your ingredients are healthier and you know what I mean? Like,
right. Well, I'm not gonna say that it's the healthiest option on the planet, but I will say we don't add any additional preservatives to prolong the shelf life of the product. So for me, that's a plus, but I'm not gonna say that it doesn't have sugars or that it's but as far as not like trying to make the banana last longer than it's supposed to, no, stuff like that. But what makes ask me the question one more time.
No problem. So it's
because I'm excited. I want to say so much, but I want to stick to the question.
So let me rephrase it. So I know that like Jess Pudd'in has like these different flavors and things like that. And so what is it that makes Jess Pudd'in like kind of different per se from like other desserts?
Oh, okay. So banana pudding is nothing new under the sun, right? So banana pudding is nothing new under the sun, but people make it different ways. I can give someone my recipe and they ain't gonna do it like how I do it. Wow. So banana pudding is cliche, but why I think is my number one bestseller is because it's just popular and people know that more. But over the years, I became popular for my other flavors, such as my strawberry pudding, which I make my own signature shortbread cookie for that one. Then we went on and we had other flavors as well. So we have cookies and cream, which is just like another, I don't want to say like, what's the word I want to say? Pop,
Like a popular
a
flavor.
popular flavor. Then I stepped it up a notch and I did my, came out with my pistachio pudding. I make my own pistachio cookie for that. And then we came out, I say that again?
The pistachio cookie.
Yes, I make my own signature pistachio cookie. You're not gonna find that nowhere else. That is my
Hmm.
from start to finish. I kept playing with it until I got it right. It took me a long time to get it, but I got it, and there we go. Then, I wanted to get my kids kind of involved, especially my firstborn. So I wanted to come up with a flavor that I can incorporate his name. So we came out with a chocolate pudding. We use we make our own brownies for this pudding, and so my son's name is Bashir. So we named that product BB Brownie Chocolate Blast.
Oh,
Yes, that's his
that's so
nickname. So we
good.
call him BB. So I wanted to make him feel special and incorporate him with that. And then I think I got all the flavors so far. And then my son comes along, the baby comes along, and I'm like, oh my God. So my aunt is like, so you know now. So we have a flavor for this one. It's only right that this is Auntie, the one that taught me, right? So you know, this is what she's saying. So I gotta go with it now. So
There you
she's
go.
like, so, and she comes up with the cutest names. So my baby, his name is Princeton. So we knew that it was time for a vegan option. So we do have a vegan banana pudding.
Oh,
So
yes.
then we came out with that. The name for the vegan banana pudding is ready, Prince Delight. Prince Delight. Right. So I
Love
have
it. It's so
so we
cute.
have so we have Jess Pudding, we have BB Blast, and we have Prince Delight.
Oh, I
So
love
yeah, I
that.
want them to see and become a part of the business and know, see, let me tell you, humble beginnings. See
Mm-hmm.
where we're coming from. So when they look back, they can say, oh wow, so what makes my product unique is that, we make it in small batches, everything is made fresh, and I'm very passionate about what I do. Hence, my name is on every single cup. So I really take pride in what I do, and that's what makes Jess Pudding special.
I love how you are, first of all, getting the babies involved because,
Absolutely.
and like you said, and I hope you're taking pictures. I'm sure you are because this way they have something to, that they can, as they grow older, they can see that were a part of building this brand of yours. And I'm
Absolutely.
sure, like once you decide, all right, you know what, I'm tired. Y'all take it. They
Oh
have
yeah, girl. Yes, I can't wait to retire.
girl. That's so good because that's something that we as Black people, a lot of us are somewhat lacking in
Hmm.
having things to pass down to our children. That
Hmm.
was something that used to be done years and years and years ago, but it's kind of like we've kind of fallen away from that. So to be able to have something that they can be proud of even at this young age, and they can see how their mom has, their mom and dad and their aunts, great auntie, and like just the family comes together and they have something of their own. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
gonna be. I mean, and they may not get. I'm sure that they enjoy it now, but to be able to really see, like you said, the humble beginnings of where it started, and to see where it's going to go as time progresses, I'm sure that
Hmm.
that's something for them to look back on and to be very, very proud of.
Yeah, and
So
on the flip side of that, too, if I may just add, I'm building a legacy for them, yes, but I'm not the kind of parent that says you have to just put in it. You have no. What I want them to still have their own individual lives going on, but they still have to be able to pour in and give time to just put in, because at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's for them,
I love that. I love that because at the end of the day, you never, and you learned it yourself. What you may want for them may not necessarily be what they're supposed to be doing.
And you see, wisdom again,
Yes, ma'am.
and that I never want them to be afraid to, because of what I went through. And then again, I don't want to say that I wasted time, because I believe that everything that happened for me. You know, I believe that God gives us free will,
Mm-hmm.
and for each, if He gave us 3 choices, He knows exactly, no matter which choice, no matter which one we chose, He knows how each one is going to unfold, right? So, but it's up to you. It's up to you to make that choice, right? So He knows how they're going to unfold. So you have to. I don't want to shove Pudd'in down my kids' throat to the point where they're afraid to have their own individual life, have their own dream, have their own vision. Like, no, that's you understand? I don't. So you live and you learn from your experiences. So because that has happened to me, I'm going to make sure that that's not going to happen to my children.
Yeah. And what they can do is they can take the experience that they're getting and take it
Apply
to
it to real
wherever it
life.
is they want to go, whatever it is
Apply
they
it
want
to
to
real
do.
life.
Absolutely. I
Absolutely.
love it. I
Hmm.
absolutely love it. So let me ask you this. What can you give us a little bit about, like kind of what's involved in starting a company?
Yeah. A lot. A lot. One thing that I had to learn, you got to put God first.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You have to put Him first. Um, that's me. I'm speaking for me. Because if you don't put Him first, He's not going to be very pleased with that.
Mm.
You have to have time, give it time and patience. Rome wasn't built in a day. I made some notes. You have to be original. Don't ever try to be somebody else's carbon copy, because it may work for a bit, but it's not going to last very long.
That's good.
Mind the company that you keep. Mind the company that you keep. Keep a positive mindset, and always look at your losses as wins, because losses are lessons that builds the foundation for wisdom.
Wait, say that
Mhm.
again. That
All
was
right,
good.
I'm going to try. All right, keep a positive mindset, and always look at your losses as wins, because your losses are lessons that builds the building blocks for wisdom. Mhm.
Those were bars,
I never
honey.
lose. I
Bars.
never lose. I never lose. I never lose. I always win or I learn something. I never lose.
Mm.
I have been at some low points, but I'm so happy that I have a fresh pair of lenses now, that I never lose. 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 And I don't want to get too off topic, but I really do believe that He gives us free will. We have choices. He knows how each one is going to unravel. And I know that sometimes I may not have made the right choice, His choice,
Right.
but He's never let me drop the ball. He's always with me. No one can tell me that He doesn't exist. No one can tell me that He ain't got my back. No one can tell me any different, because I'm telling you, the things that I've been through, a lot of people wouldn't got through it.
Wow.
And quitting is never an option. And giving up is never an option, because it's not in my DNA.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
It's not in my, for the people who know me, oh, she been quiet for a while. Yeah, because God is good. My grandmother had to say, who laughs last? Now I'm going to bring out the Beijing. I'm going to bring out the Beijing for a second. And my grandmother was the wisest woman I know. She always said, who laugh last does laugh the best. So let
Mm.
me
I
sum
see
that
that.
up. I don't know how to really sum that up in American terminology, but it's like, what did you take from that, what I just said?
So I've heard that he who laughs laughs the best. I've always understood that to be like people can say what they want to say, and people
Hmm.
can perceive things to be whatever it is that they want. They can run their mouth and they can say whatever it is that they want. They can laugh and they can laugh at you. But at the end of the day,
When
they
he
don't know
shows up,
what's
it's
going on
something
behind the
about when
scenes.
he shows up.
When
Can
God
nobody
shows up,
stop it?
honey,
Can nobody block it? Can nobody take it? Because it's yours.
that's it. That's it.
Because it's yours.
And
It's
don't nobody
yours.
else know how to handle it.
That's it. Because again, you cannot be somebody else's carbon copy. Because if it's not your assignment, if it's not what you're supposed to do, if you're not built for that, yeah,
Whew,
that part.
whew. That's why it's always best to stay in your lane and
Hmm.
to never to want something that doesn't belong to you, and
Hmm.
never to like one thing that I'm teaching my kids now, because they're 11 and 8, so
Hmm.
they're at the stage where they see things, and they want things because they see somebody else with it,
That's with
or
it.
they want
Hmm.
somebody else's life because they think that they're somebody else's life. Oh, I wanted to have this. I want my friend gets to have this, and my god sister, my god, da, 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 they have this. They have, honey. You never know what they had to go through.
To
Number
get
one,
it,
or you don't know what they're dealing with now behind closed doors.
to keep it. Hey,
So
hey.
it's always best
Yes.
to allow God to give you what it is that belongs to you, because not only will he give you what it is that belongs to you, he's going to show you and he's going to guide you on how to maintain it in the way that you know how. Because like you said, there's so many people that can make banana pudding. My mother is, girl, and I wonder if my brother-in-law is watching, because my brother-in-law loves banana pudding. Loves banana pudding. I will never forget, there was one Thanksgiving. There was one Thanksgiving we all got together, and that's my mother. We always want my mother to make banana pudding. There was one Thanksgiving we got together. I think between me and one of my siblings were the first one to get to my parents' house, and my mother didn't make no banana pudding. She had a
Uh-oh.
bunch of cookies, and we were like, What's going on here?"
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
called my brother and I said, "James, mommy didn't make banana pudding." She said, "Well," he said, "What? Oh, we're not coming then." I mean, she was joking though, but I mean, hey, at the end of the day, I'm
Because
saying
let
all
me
that to
tell you too something. Let me tell you something. Banana pudding is not something that you could just make right now and it's ready. You gotta let that thing
you gotta
set,
wait
honey.
and let it
You
set.
gotta you gotta let that thing cook. You gotta let it set. Some people make it different ways, but either way, no matter how you make it, you have to let that thing set. There's no forcing banana pudding. You can't force that.
You
Mm-mm.
can't. You have to
Mm-mm.
allow it to have its time.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, just like you said, there's lots of different ways to make it, but you are the only one who can do. And that goes for that's not just for food. That's not just for banana pudding. I'm talking about for everything.
Mm-hmm.
There may be so many people doing some of the same things that that God has placed in your heart to do, but nobody
Mm-hmm.
can do it like you.
Nope.
Nobody can do it like you. So where there
No
may be
ma'am.
50 million delis, yours has something special. Where there can be 50 different fashion designers, yours is
Mm-hmm.
something special. Where there could be 50 million restaurants and 50 million, dessert places and cake spots
Mm-hmm.
and puddings,
Mm-hmm.
yours is the one that is like you. There's something unique, and there's something different about yours that they can say, I don't know what it is, but there's
But
something
this
different
one is
about
different.
it. Only you
Absolutely.
can do what you're supposed to do, the way that you.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that, because you're the one who's supposed to be answering the question.
Absolutely.
Ooh, girl. Oh
Mm-hmm.
man. So really quickly, we're going to jump into one more break, and then
Okay.
we'll come right back. Alrighty,
Okay.
alrighty, alrighty.
All right.
All right.
Are you interested in continuing your education, certificate, or degree that will prepare you in the ministry and equip you in the marketplace? Come make Christ Central University your home. Visit us at www.myccu.online.
Have you ever wanted to host your own inspirational radio show? Have you been called to inspire and spread God's word? Please contact Alicia Rain for more info.
And we are back once again.
Hey, hey, hey.
So, y'all, This is so good. I don't know if anybody has gotten anything out of this, but I know if nobody else did, I sure did.
Very
So,
good.
oh my goodness. So
Good.
let me ask you this question really quickly. So
Mhm.
sometimes people see entrepreneurs as, as just that and forget that there's other hats besides the chef hat in your case. So,
Mhm.
how do you manage to balance all that you are and all that you have to do?
Honestly, God, 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 God. To whom much is given, much is required. There's no manual for this thing.
Mhm.
There's no manual. Um, there's no manual. So I think that how I look at it, one of my things, and I've said this from day one, I read this, the best way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time.
Mm.
So for me to get through my stuff, I make a list of things. I used to be one all over the place, all over the place, all over the place. But when you make a list, you stick to that list. You do the most important things first.
Mm.
How I do it, I have designated days for things. Like for example, at least once a month, me and my husband, we have to do something together as husband and wife. Forget about the children. It's you and I one-on-one.
Nice.
I I used to try to be superwoman and do everything. I gotta wash clothes. I gotta sweep. I gotta mop. I gotta clean the bathroom. I gotta get on the line with the accountant. I got. Oh my gosh! And it never stops. And it never stops. And it never stops. And it keeps going and going and going. You get overwhelmed. And I got burnt out.
Mm.
I got burnt out. So what I do now, I delegate specific tasks. Now I have a 13-year-old. So guess what, buddy? Who's gonna clean the bathroom now? This is your job.
There you
Guess
go.
who's not taking garbage out no more? I'm never taking garbage out again, as long as you shall live in my house. You know, stuff like that. Because so you got to have a balance, and it's never gonna go the way how you even envision it to go. Your week, because some things just happens. Life be life in all the time. Life be life in.
Absolutely.
Life be life in all the time. Then one kid is sick, you got to make a doctor appointment. Then so it's sometimes it's hard when you're being pulled in so many areas. Again, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I am a business owner. I'm trying to get my business relocated and restructured and revamped again. So I'm juggling multiple hats. It's not an easy task, and it is not for the faint of heart. It is not, because just life in itself alone, just getting up every day, keeping a sound mind. Like, first of all, it's expensive. Like, everything is expensive. And just managing your bills and managing life and managing your health, not just your physical health, but your mental health.
Mm. And that's
All
important.
these things. Life be life. And so for me now at this point, I make a list. I do the most important things, and what doesn't get done today, it'll roll over for tomorrow, in addition to the other things that I had to do. And I do it one thing at a time. The most important thing. If the cable bill is gonna get disconnected, and I only got today's the deadline, today's the last day before the late fee hit, that's gonna get done first. If I prioritize whatever it is that has to be done I prioritize, and no longer do I worry or kill myself about all the extra stuff, because if not, you would run yourself ragged. I've been there before, and I ain't going back. I'm going to work smarter and not harder. And that's what my experiences have taught me, to work smarter and not harder.
That's good. Because I was
Hello.
just asking you, what lessons have you learned in the process of it all? But that's it right there. That's it. Work smarter, not harder. Anything else?
I've learned a lot. There's no manual for this. No, it doesn't matter how many books you've read, how many seminars you have attended, how many hookups you have. And when I say hookups, meaning who you know, because people always think it's about who you know. And you'll be surprised, the people that you know and the people that you think is going, they can make certain moves for you. It doesn't always work like that. God is the best hookup. And let me tell you something. Sometimes you would think, oh, because I know so and so is my plug. And I've had numerous situations like that where I thought, oh, well, so and so, and let me tell you something. God has switched it up because he don't want you to put your trust in man. He wants you to put all your trust in him. And God, he just took my whole thing, what I had planned out, mapped out. And he said, oh, yeah, you don't want to give me the glory? Scratch, start over. I'm talking about deals. I'm talking about people that, and society just have us so wrapped up thinking like, oh, well, because you may know somebody that got a whole bunch of likes on Instagram. Oh, maybe that might be my plug. No. God is gonna, at the right time, God is gonna send the right person at the right time to hear your story, to taste your product, to see however it is he's gonna work it out. So we sometimes, there's this quote that I love. Hold on, and I want to share that. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, says the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my thoughts higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. And that comes from Isaiah 55, verse 8 through 9. That one hit me deep because I've been through some things. And people think that when you go through some things or that failures, let me tell you something. Failures are mandatory. They are prerequisites for building success. And for me, I would much rather, I have made some mistakes, which I would share at a later date. We all make mistakes. But let me tell you, I can say that those mistakes were good for me because I've made those choices in the beginning parts of my business. Now I'm wiser. You can't come at me with that same move. I ain't going to do what I did because it was good for me. It was good for me. And this is what people need to realize. If I'm going to fail, I want to fail hard and I want to fail fast and get it over with and move on. Dust yourself off and move on. Dust yourself off and move on. Because quitting is not an option here. It's never been and it will never be. Knock me down 9, I'm going to get up 10. And what happened?
That
Because
sounds
God got me.
That reminds me of a song from an artist. Her name is Naomi Rain.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love her.
Girl, I love her. So she is in her earlier, I think this was her first album. She has a single, her first single from what I understand is called Finish Strong.
Mm-hmm.
She said in her bridge, I would rather fail at my dreams than let my fears succeed. When I tell you that pierced me in a way that I had never felt before, that kind of between that, I will never forget. There was a certain time I was, trying to not figure out what I do, but try to get the courage to do what I wanted to do. And I just felt like I couldn't because, I didn't have the backing. I didn't have the money. I didn't have the support. I didn't have this.
The devil is a liar. You just got to start.
And that's exactly what, that's the name of the song, Finish Strong, and, well, that's the name of the song, but I'm trying, there was a part in there that says something about start, punch fear in the face is what she said.
Okay.
So that and so many other things around that time is what got me to, to understand, you know what? I'm either going to do this and I might fall and I might, I might lose and I might, mess up and I should expect to.
Do it anyway. Do it. Nothing beats a failure than to try. Nothing beats a failure. Because then, what if the guy, I forgot his name, that invented the light bulb said, you know what? And I think he did it. What's the name?
Thomas Edison. Was it Thomas Edison? Yes.
No, I don't think so. No, let's not give the wrong information. Hold on. Who invented the light? You got it? Let me see. Come on, help me out here. Help me out.
I think it is. Yeah, Thomas Edison.
You got it? Okay. What if he said, I think it took him 100 times to get it. What if he said on the 99th time, forget it, I'm not going to try this no more. I am done. I'm throwing in the towel. I want to have light right now to speak to you in the nighttime, right? So somebody, it's got to quitting. Let me tell you something. A lot of people don't make it because they quit too soon. They figure, oh, you know what? I tried this the first time. This didn't work. I got to. And let me tell you something. I could have quit so many times. Blow for blow. Ooh, I took some blows. I had some unfair cards that were served to me that I didn't think was fair. I'm like, God, do you see all of this? Do you see me, God? God, where are you? Because how I'm over here really trying to be the child of God, I want to tear it up. And I'm being humble. And I'm bruised and I'm battered. And I'm hurt and I'm going through. I said, God, do you see me? But because I remained steadfast, because I did it anyway, because I did it with a spirit of excellence, because I did it with a smile on my face, because I did it praising him anyway when I didn't understand. He's going to honor me, and then nobody could do about it because I did my part.
There you go. That's it.
I did my part.
That's all he asked for. That's all he asked for. Because at the end of the day, of course, it's not always going to be easy.
No.
It's not always going to be easy. Will you trust me anyway? Girl? So I have another question.
Another thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Another thing. Not everyone is going to support your vision, and that's okay. Don't waste your time being upset about who's not. Focus on the people who are, because that's how you're going to miss it. That's the devil. That's how you're going to miss it. Focus on your target audience. Focus on the people who are supporting you. Focus on that. Focus on your dream. Stay busy. Stay planted. Keep busy. Invest in you. Invest in what it is that you want to do. Invest in something instead of going buying that stupid stuff that doesn't even make sense.
It won't bring you nothing.
Go get a course. Go do something. Invest. Pour into yourself. Right? Build your own table and don't worry about the naysayers. Don't, because they you know what it is? They really admire your
ambition, I would think.
Right. Your ambition. There's a word, your zeal, your perseverance. But some people will be bold enough to say, you know what, girl? That's so amazing. Can you teach me how to do that? Can you show me? But then on the flip side, you're gonna got that one. I can't wait for her to crash and burn. She who she thinks she is. But really deep down inside, they proud of you. They like what you're doing, but they don't have it in them, and it's okay. You aren't gonna be everybody's cup of tea. Some people like brown sugar, some people like white sugar. Honey, I like honey. So what we do?
I love that.
Right?
What I always
some people like milk, some people like heavy cream, some people like it straight, right? Some people like whipped cream, some people like heavy cream, some people like whole milk, some people like 2%, some people like foam, no foam. Think about Starbucks. It's something for everybody. So yeah.
I love it. So where do you see, like, what is next for Jess Pudd'in?
I know you were gonna ask me that. Ooh, we've been quiet for too long. What's next for Jess Pudd'in? So without saying too much, I'll just say I'm happy to have had the opportunity to had the Kings Plaza experience with the storefront. I am happy to say I'm happy as well to have had an opportunity to be in the Palisades Mall. So we've tried those things, and we decided to do something a little bit different. So just stay tuned for details. We'll have something coming up really soon for you guys. Just stay tuned, be patient. I miss you guys too. This time it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better this time because I've learned what and what not to do.
So don't go to Kings Plaza and don't be going to the Palisades Mall looking for her. She's gonna be there.
No, we're in the process of relocating.
Are you taking orders? Are you doing any like catering like that?
No, currently, no, 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 no. Another thing, what people fail to realize about business, and this is the thing, when you do business, you want to do things the right way.
This is true. This is
You want
true.
to do things the right way. So, especially with food, it's not like I'm doing t-shirts and I could print on a t-shirt and mail it to your house. Food, there are a lot of requirements. There are a lot of, you know, people don't realize these things. They just see somebody making banana pudding and it looks really cool and they think that they could do it in their house. And I ain't knocking nobody to start from the house because I started from the house. But it comes a time if you're gonna take your business seriously, you gotta come out the house.
That's something.
Right? So don't hate on the person that's actually, doing what the big guys do. You gotta pay your taxes, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, so yeah. Yeah, so currently, are we taking orders? No, not right now at this moment, but as soon as we open back up, we will let you guys know.
Do we have not necessarily an ETA, but a ballpark figure?
I want to say summer. Summer.
Okay.
Summer. I can't say when summer, but definitely summer. Because again, the route that we're taking is a little bit different from what we were doing before. So it's a learning experience along the way for me as well. So but we're definitely for the people who's like, oh my God, where's Jess Pudd'in? It's been 6 months. People are still emailing us, DMing us, calling us. So yes, we are not down for the count. We're just revamping, a little pause break, and we will be back after these messages.
I love it. After these messages, we'll be right back. Oh my goodness, girl. So I just have to say I am so happy to have been able to have you here and
Thank you.
to have you give us some, some nuggets of wisdom and to share your experience and,
Mhm.
to share what it is that, an entrepreneur has to go through, and what
Hmm.
they, in order to actually make it and be successful. Because
Mm.
there are people out there who may not know, what to do, and they may not be
Mhm.
sure if they even want to or if they even can.
Mhm.
So again, like you've put a fire in me and you have inspired
Yeah.
me, you have, reminded me like work smart, not hard. You know what I mean?
Well,
And
mission accomplished then. Very
it
good.
can be done. And it can be done. So before we go,
Mhm.
first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your information on this, have it scrolling on the bottom so that those
Mhm.
who may follow you, those who may want to, keep up with you, because like you said, you got some things coming up. And so y'all
Mhm.
want to make sure that y'all stay in touch with her so that when y'all can be in the loop whenever these things come up. And as you also see on the screen that's scrolling on the bottom, her Cash App is there. So y'all already know that business takes funding.
Yeah.
So after all that, she has experienced and all that she has been doing and is still doing, of course, you can use some money, I'm sure.
Yes.
So
Yes, I can.
if you do feel inclined, if God places on your heart to drop something in her Cash App, please do that as well.
Mhm.
And as that is scrolling on the bottom, just I would love for you to just give, our viewers just a word of encouragement or something, that you would say to somebody who might feel a little discouraged or they're not quite sure of exactly how or what to do to begin.
First, you have to start. You have to start. You got to start. I don't care if you got $1. You can start. You can start by a vision board. For me, listen, a vision board. You might not have the funding. You might not have the support. I'm everyone's situation is different. Some people have support system at home within the household, and some people don't. Um, I can't speak for anyone else, but I can say that a support system definitely has been a foundation for me because I don't know what I would do without my support system, especially when you have kids. However, not having a support system shouldn't discourage you not to start. It starts as simple as If you couldn't even afford to buy a vision book, a notebook, you start writing stuff down. You have that one specific book where you can go with for references. You start thinking about, just jotting whatever it is that's on your heart. Where do you see yourself? Set goals for yourself, and don't like set crazy goals that's like, I don't want to say not tangible, but like, for example, if you're just starting out, start small. Start small. Everybody start small. Start small, but still always think big. That would be my advice. To put God first. I think for the most part, that's my advice. Don't quit, be patient. Rome was not built in a day. Give yourself grace. There's a difference in between being what's the word I want to say? Procrastinating and being proactive. So you want to be proactive. So it's okay to take breaks. Life happens. I had to take so many breaks. Being pregnant, I broke my toe. I had to take care of my mom at one point. Just life happens. COVID happened, and I had to take a pause break because guess what? My product is a luxury item, which means that if another pandemic happened tomorrow, no matter how good my product is, banana pudding isn't
essential.
There you go. So, you have to give yourself grace. You have to allow time and patience. You have to be diligent. You have to stand the course. You have to pace yourself. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't get frustrated because we want this right now, right now, right now, right now. It doesn't happen right now, right now, right now. You don't success for some people. The definition of success is different for many people. For many, many people, most people associate success with money. It's not always money all the time. But I will say this, right? The only way to become successful on an entrepreneur level is to stick through it. Just because you had a no, just because things didn't go your way, just because you don't have the funding. Life happens. People die. People get born. People get sick. Life happens, but then you got to get back up and you got to revisit the thing again. No matter how hard, you got to revisit it again. And you got to pick it up again. And you got to keep going. You got to keep going and you got to keep going. And so if if you're quick to quit, then that means that it wasn't for you in the first place.
Wow.
Now, the same thing too, you have to use wisdom also, because sometimes if something isn't working, you might have to do a different strategy or just do something different. But that's why it's good to have that connection with God, because he'll show you and you'll see things differently completely.
That was so good. I hope y'all got that. I hope y'all got that. Guys, we need to get to the game, and that's okay.
All right.
That's okay. It is quite all right because I love being able to. I would much rather take the time to to pour into our viewers. You know what I mean? The game is great and the game is fun, it's cool, but this is what this is what we're here for. And so again, I thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Honestly, it's for being here and for, taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit and talk with us.
Yes. Yes.
But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Speaking Plain English.
And thank you for having me, Roberta. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You are so welcome. Anytime.
Thank you.
Oh, and yes, we will have to let's remember, she is coming back. She is coming back. And I'm not going to tell you why until it's time. So therefore, stay tuned.
That's it. Thank you for being a Pudd'in.
Oh, yes. Yes. Bye.
Bye.